If you don't know now, you do know it's Gunz, the Gunz Show. I'm here at PlayStation Theater in the greatest in the world, New York City. Yes, sir, Times Square. You might have heard of it. You also might have heard of this band. They just dropped a brand new album, We Came as Romance. We're here with my boy Josh. What up, buddy? How are you, man?
Oh, just out here living the dream.
Ain't that the truth?
Yeah, doing the whole tour thing. We're a month in and not halfway over yet. Right. It's a long little run.
So a lot of sleep. You've been getting a lot of sleep and a lot of healthy eating and drinking.
Oh, more sleep than you even know. More than I can even deal with. That's why I'm drinking a coffee, because I'm not tired at all.
3 in the afternoon, he's already pounding coffee just to do it. But the thing with We Came as Romans though is, and by the way, they're on tour as you just mentioned right now. But the energy once you're out there, I mean, I don't care if you haven't slept for 3 days. You're out there on stage. You're fucking feeling 100%.
Yeah, I mean, it's a whole different animal. Once you get up there, you get that like little adrenaline, like the shot in the neck, and you're just like, okay, I'm good, I'm going. Yeah. And then you get off stage, and you load your gear out, and you're like, I need to lay down. Yeah. It just sucks the life out of you. Well,
in all honesty, man, first of all, it's good to see you. I texted you the other day. I've been obviously keeping tabs on you guys the last couple months because, from a fan standpoint, also a friend standpoint, I was like, where the hell are these guys? But I knew something was in the works. But it has been a while, man. Tell us, where have you been? And apologize to the fans for taking so long.
Okay, no apologies. Okay, we just came out with a new record. Not even last week. It was like 5 days ago. I don't know what day
it rolls. It's called Cold Like War, by the way.
Yeah, for real though. I don't actually know what day it is. That's kind of what tour does to you. They all blend together. But it came out on Friday. And so we took 11 months off to make that record. We've never done that before. Because if you're dividing your attention, then it's not going to be that 100% the best you could do on a record, because 50% is dedicated to the road, or 50% is dedicated to whatever else you're doing. We just took the time off. Our last tour was with Parkway Drive last fall. And after that, we were like, okay, see you guys. And we just kind of faded out, because even like social media presence and all that, like, we don't need that attention. We need 100% of our minds focused towards writing the record.
Right. And it came out solid. I must say this, literally like from track 1 through like 5 or maybe 6 is just like, it's all got different aspects to it, but it flows, man. It's got your heavy parts, but then also some like alt rock parts. You know what I mean? Like, I don't like using the word mature, but like, it's definitely shown growth for you guys.
Mature, I like that.
Oh, we hate to use that word. I just want to be a kid forever.
I just turned 28, feeling really old. So
drinking coffee in the middle of the day.
To me now, that's like a compliment. I'm like, mature, yeah.
But really though, it is. I mean, Cold Like War, the title track, is obviously one of my favorites on the album. We were saying before, Foreign Fire is a jam. The song called Wasted. Yeah. But even that one, Foreign Fire, is different from like the other ones that it's surrounded around.
Yeah, that song is my favorite. I loved it. We put out a music video for it, I think the day before release or on release day, and it's gotten an insane reaction. So deep down, I'm just like so ecstatic and like cheering. I'm like, yes, best song, go.
Is that song awesome with production and lights and stuff? Like, I can only imagine, like, just like it's gotta be sick.
It's funny because like way in like demo form, when we're just like, oh, I wrote a cool chorus for this song, I guess now like 7-8 months ago when we were doing that. There are parts in my mind that I'm like, oh my gosh, I can imagine doing this live. Right. So now like 8 months later, I'm like, oh my gosh, I can imagine doing this in another 6 months when we headline and we bring lights out and we do that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
and then when I get there, I'm like, man, I've waited a year for this. Right. And, hopefully it all goes to plan. So
I like how you, as we speak here with Josh, of course, We Came as Romance. You can follow them on Twitter. The new album's available now. Gunz, the Gunz Show. What up? Yeah. And I like how you're like, yeah, no apologies for taking some time off to focus on it. Now, were you going stir crazy though? Were you guys worried that perhaps you were going to overthink this album at all?
Oh, definitely. At the end of it. I mean, the album for us has been done since like May. Okay. And, release day was October 20th. So we're just sitting on it for 5 months. You get like 2 or 3 months into it. It's already mixed, mastered. We're ready. And we're like.
And then the industry comes along, right? Yeah.
Like, wait, maybe it's not that good. Maybe this isn't the single. Maybe that's not the single. Maybe we shouldn't have done this. Maybe because. I mean, I've listened to the CD like 100 times, like front to back, months before anyone has even heard it. And you start to overthink it, and then you get that anxiety, and then you're like, oh no. And then like maybe 2 weeks before, I guess for us it was like a month out, we started releasing songs, and all of our fans, the feedback was insane. We've never had like, for instance, like on YouTube, a like to dislike ratio where it's literally 99% likes. Right. And there's like...
Damn right.
Yes.
And it's not even you guys doing it. It's not like you're reloading. Refreshing.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's weird. Like it's
Oh, the reaction's been nuts, though. I mean, I can tell you from my standpoint, from following socials and stuff like that, or also just from the requests that come in, or just the fact that, hello, you're playing PlayStation Theater tonight. This tour's been sick. People are digging this album.
Yeah, I mean, it's to the point where like I'm texting other friends in bands, and they're like, "What is the secret to get the YouTube experts off your back? Like, how did you guys do it?" I'm like, I don't know. Go take some time off. Like, just make a. We didn't like have that in mind. We were just like, okay, we got to make a banger record, and this is what we're gonna do to do it, and we did it, and I think.
Oh yeah, you did. Oh, hell yeah, man.
We'll figure it out, over the next year if it worked out.
Now, when you guys were writing and stuff, did you all move home, or did you go somewhere to write this, or what was the deal with that, or the majority of it?
Yeah, we split time between Detroit and LA. In Detroit, we were working with our friend Nick Sampson, who back in the day was Joey Sturgis's engineer, like when we did To Plant a Seed. And he was in a local band in Michigan when we were still local. So we met Nick when I think I was 18. We've known each other for 10 years. So we were really comfortable working together, and we recorded all the music in Detroit, as well as wrote some of the tracks just musically with Nick. And fun fact, I actually recorded all guitars for To Plant a Seed and Understanding with Nick in Joey's studio. So I was like, oh man, this
is some W card trivia for you.
Taking me back 10 years. And then we went to LA to work with my really good friend Drew Folk, and we did all of the vocals in LA, like writing and recording. And lyrically, I was able to do everything with Drew, like in the room, and we would just spitball back and forth and get stuck and listen to bands for like 2 hours, and then no, guys, I swear
we gotta go back. We gotta go back. Yeah, gotta focus. Now, when you go home, or everyone goes home or has to write, like, are you delivering like pizzas on the side and stuff? Like, are you trying to stay sane at all? Like, how did because you gotta do stuff, like, or was it strictly like, what was the worst like day job that somebody had to have, or did you do anything on the side, or were you just a waste?
I was gonna say I didn't do anything on the side. I gave my cat a lot of pets.
Yeah.
I have
huge inspiration that cat is, right?
Yeah, I have 4 nieces and a nephew in Michigan as well, and I spend a lot of time with my family.
Cool.
And
sure.
Yeah, at the end of the Parkway Drive tour, the very last tour we did, my girlfriend moved from Florida to Michigan to my house, so that was like a brand new thing and exciting as well. So it's like, oh, I can take her to all these restaurants that I've gone to 100 times, and she's like stoked about because she's.
So it's not like you were melting away on the couch, like in between writing songs.
Yeah, not until it got to like April, May, and I was like, I haven't played a show in how long? I start to get the crazy eyes. I'm like, what am I doing?
How was the first show on this tour? Was it just nuts? Were you guys just like pretty much like, it's like your first orgasm type thing? You just go.
Yeah, well, not
or maybe
a little less messy.
Okay,
I would say.
Okay, there you go.
We've been doing this for a while.
Right. It's been 11 months though since we saw you out there.
Yeah, I mean, you get that anxiety. You're like, what if everyone forgot about us? Right. We haven't played a show. We haven't been. I mean, the first show I think was in like Oklahoma. We haven't been to Oklahoma in like 2 years. Right, yeah. You know what? That could be a lie. We could have been there on the Parkway Drive tour. I don't remember because
he doesn't even know what day it is.
Because they all blend together. Yeah. But yeah, you get that anxiety going back into a tour, and you're like, what if all of our fans like forgot about us? And we're playing direct support to I Prevail, so obviously like we have an important slot, and we're supposed to draw X amount of kids and have this kind of impact and
not suck.
Yeah, exactly, and we're held to a certain standard, and it's like, well, shit, let's just make sure that we get there, stay there, and hopefully like exceed expectations. And it's weird. We fell back into it real quick, and we're like, oh yeah, okay. Like 3 shows in, we're like, okay, back in the groove already.
Yeah, it's like riding the bicycle or whatever they say,
Yeah.
Also, this tour, we urge you all to pick it up or to come out to it and pick up merchandise and whatnot. But also, this tour is like a super tour, literally from front to back. And what's great is like already outside, the kids are already lined up and shit. But like, it's one of those tours that just makes sense for everybody involved, because if you're a fan, you want to get here early and stay for everybody, because every band fucking works.
Yeah, no, it's wild. Like. It's crazy because the line starts super early every day, and then I'll hand it to security. All those kids get inside for Escape the Fate, who's opening, and like we've done the tours where we've opened and like there's like 2,000 tickets sold, and we played to 400 kids because they can't let them in time. Right. I remember specifically we played in Europe one time.
Not happy. It's not happy about this.
I think it was an 1,800 cap room, and we played to literally 40 people. because doors were 15 minutes late and they were so slow letting everyone in.
And it's not fair for anybody involved.
Yeah, and it was in the UK. It was our first time ever, and I'm like, oh, so glad I'm here to play to these 40 kids.
Yeah. Well, at least that's not happening on this, and also so many kids are lining up early, and it's fucking good though. You know what I mean?
No, it is.
And good for I Prevail. It's good for you guys. We're alive. Escape the Fate. Like literally front to back. Can't mess around.
It's a great tour for everyone, and I think everyone's really stoked to be here and like grateful to be here. We took a ton of time off, and so to come back and be given this tour, we're like, thank you so much.
How happy were you when I texted you yesterday? Didn't it feel good to get a text from Gunz? It's been a minute since we've spoken, but
I don't think that we've ever like even came through New York and not at least like seen you or been like, hey, you coming out? You're like, I can't because I'm doing some sports
drunk.
That's less important.
Oh, I do some sports, so you know the deal.
Yeah, less important. Like I said, sports things that are less important.
Absolutely, yeah. The Yankees in the playoffs. Nope, can't do it. Got to focus on
Yankees in the playoffs. Roman's on the stage. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. It's up here.
Damn right. Absolutely. But no, man, I mean, I appreciate the friendship and also you guys, it's still keeping it real. And it's also a fresh breath there, the fact that it's fun again for you guys. You know what I mean? And like this album cycle is going to be sick. The album's so good. Cold Like War. Normally I don't like title tracks or singles, but I actually do like them this time.
I'm glad.
Normally I'm just like, because you have to write the whatever, but it's really good the way that you were able to make these come out.
Yeah, it's funny when we showed our label Sharptone, who have been awesome, we showed them like the first round of like semi-completed songs for the record, and they're like, first single. We're like, we showed you like 4 songs, they're like first single. We don't even care what the rest is. And then Cold Like War. It was instantly Cold Like War, first single. And so we've known since, what was that, like March, that was the single. And then as the record came together, we're like, we should just call the record Cold Like War. Right. And then they're like, yeah.
Can't go wrong.
Yeah. And it just all clicked, fell into place, and now it's printed. It's there forever.
Speaking of the name of the band has something to do with my next question, but do you watch Game of Thrones?
I do.
Do you? I don't watch it.
Indeed. Why?
I feel like am I missing out on something here?
Yeah. I mean, now especially, because I'm like the kind of guy, very notorious. I'll like find something on Netflix and then just binge it.
Okay, you're
like,
a binger. Yeah.
Yeah, like I watched Ozark. That was a popular one in like 2 days, and then 3 seasons of Narcos in a week.
Narcos is solid. I'll give you that.
Yeah. So now that Game of Thrones has been on for so long, it's so easily bingeable. You can spend.
I need to wait for like I need to wait for like a blizzard, I think. So you know what I mean? Like so that way, because there's a lot. I feel like I'm too far behind to catch up. It's like 7 seasons, but I do have 2 years apparently till the next season series. So
it's gonna be longer. It's gonna be longer now, but it's definitely worth it if you got the time, and if you want to like invest into.
If I want to be hip.
Yeah.
I mean, everyone's talking about Game of Thrones. GOT is the initials of it. I'm told.
It's gonna be overwhelming at first. It's like if you had never listened to like a heavier metalcore band ever, and you're like, should I get into metalcore? And I'm like, okay, well let's go back. There was one time this band called Under Oath that made a CD called They're Only Chasing Safety. And then I walked you through all the years from that, and you're like, so this band and this guy, and then this guy made this band with this guy, and then it's going to be a lot like that, only more death.
Right, a lot of death. I'm told don't get attached to any character because they most likely die.
Yeah. Yep. No, that's it.
Don't get attached to anything, kind of like in life, because it's only going to end in disappointment. On that note, something
like my father always said.
Yeah. Don't get attached to anything because you're screwed in the end. Love that. Awesome. We Came as Romance. My boy, Josh over here, killing it, and keep in touch.
Yeah. We always do. Why do you have to say that?
No. I'm stoked, though. And check them out to see them on tour. This whole tour, like I say, get here early. And Cold Like War is the album. We got some music videos and shit. We got all sorts of things.
Oh, it's out there. Just Google
and then hopefully more touring.
Yeah. Well, hopefully a small break after this 3-month tour.
That is true.
Next year. Yeah, next year we'll do the more tour.
But you were telling me, what day in a row is this right now?
This is 12. Tonight I will play my 12th show in a row. My brain is melt. Yeah. Just melt.
Just mush.
Yep.
Yeah. It's almost like you're more drunk on being delusional than actually like being drunk. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's a lot like that.
Like going through Yep.
Yeah. And then you just think about drinking, and then you do it, and then you're just all sorts of just everything.
All sorts of shit happens.
Yeah.
I'll see them tonight. You should check them out as well. And it's We Came as Romance. Follow them on Twitter and pick up the album. And this is Gunz the Gun Show. New York City, what up?